Yeah.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Turn up your hearing aids.
Yeah, seriously. Left most of it in Iraq.
So you could just.
I'd like to go ahead and call the Chickasha Industrial monthly meeting to order. Need a roll call, please.
McCarty?
Here.
Elliott?
Here.
Gibb?
Here.
Smith?
Here.
Loggins?
Here.
Everthwaite? Here. Grayson?
Here. I'm sure most of you noticed we're welcoming Three Loggins on the board. She filled Daniel Terry's vacant spot.
Welcome, Kim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations or condolences, I'm not sure. Item number 2, consent docket.
Move that we approve as presented.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Elliott?
Yes.
Gibb?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Loggins?
Yes.
Everthwaite?
Yes.
McCarty?
Yes.
Grayson?
Yes. Item 3, board member communication input on upcoming EDC work plan.
So this is the time of the year that I'll be working on 2 things. Doing a recap of what the work plan, how we did. What did the EDC do? Here's all the things we listed. Did we do them? Did we not do them? If we didn't do them, how come? And that'll be presented to the EDC board and then presented to you all. It's also the time of the year that we're looking at, okay, in this next fiscal year, what do we need to do? Because I can just tell you, it'll be different than the work plan from last year just because of what's going to happen at the industrial airport. But today is about what would you like to see the EDC do? Or what would you like to see the EDC quit doing? So I'm just, any input, whether we discuss it today, whether you send me an email, whether you call me or just say, hey, Jim, let's go to lunch. I'd like to understand this or this more. I'm open, I'm available, and just any input that you want to provide. The EDC, I think, as you all know, has an annual contract with the CIA to perform economic development. So the work plan is always our, this is how we're going to try to accomplish it. And so I'll be meeting with the city manager. We'll be discussing budget. We'll be discussing special projects. And then then he makes a recommendation to you all, as he presents the CIA's budget. Okay. So coming up at the June meeting, I'll be making a presentation to the EDC for the budget for the upcoming fiscal year, as well as presenting a recap of what was done in this past fiscal year. So I'm just saying, hey, any input, any questions, anything you'd like to see explained more, or it's just an open forum.
Jim, question. With regard to the Townsend Initiative, the things that we're doing adjacent to the leg lift, can you give me a nutshell? Where we have a lot of emphasis on a lot of different areas. We have now the air park that we're working on with Chet. That's all very good. And I don't want to lose any momentum on any of that, but I also don't want to lose momentum on what we're doing in the Townsend development, that whole thing. Can you nutshell where we're at, where we're going on that, just briefly?
We're working closely with the city. The city is working closely with Half and Associates on designing the pedestrian bridge. Okay, the funding is there to do all the design work for the pedestrian bridge. As that gets closer to being done, then it's time to build it. So how are we going to build it? Where's the money going to come from? Chet and I have spent a lot of time at the state capitol, and I believe there's going to be an opportunity to receive at least partial funding through the legislature. Senator Paxton is very interested in that pedestrian bridge with his ties to the fairgrounds, growing up and so forth. I know he knows that he has only 3 years left, okay, because he'll be termed out. And so that's something I think he's very passionate about, is seeing how much money could be appropriated from the legislature, okay? In conjunction with that, we're also working with Half and Associates about a downtown streetscape plan. They're helping us apply for a federal grant that can provide a complete plan. So the goal would be, let's think of it this way. From the fairgrounds all the way through downtown, what's it look like? How do we make it feel like it's all one area? even though we would establish what will be two different districts. So one of them would be the Old Town District and the other one would be the Arts District, because we believe there's enough businesses in each that would benefit from having two districts right next to each other, but maybe have a little different feel in terms of what everything looks like. In terms of the businesses, Chet obviously has dual residence, has a home here, has one in Apple Valley. I know he is laser focused on this industrial air park, but all he's done is take a couple of other things and just put them on the shelf for right now. So do I believe that we'll still see a distillery? Absolutely. We actually met with him late yesterday afternoon, talking a little bit about that. He's doing some things in California that will help open that door, but we're probably looking at least a year and a half before he revisits the idea of how to incorporate that into the area. By then, hopefully, we have a much better idea of when is the pedestrian bridge going to be built, when is the streetscape plan going to happen, and then the other component of that is the downtown park. And I believe that the Chickasha Community Foundation has a really good grant application in front of them where they're going to be asking for several $1 million. And so hopefully they receive that. If not, there's some other sources. But even before the TSEC money, we know for sure. I know there's plans underway for the next phase of the downtown park would be the Legends area, where they recognize people with Chickasha ties that have done significant things. That grant has already come in through the PSO Foundation. They made it was over $100,000, or maybe it was right at $100,000 last year. So everything's still moving. It's just not really visibly public. Now, the other part of this is the city passed a TIF. So the downtown TIF district, the clock started January 1 of this year. So right now, it's probably it's going to be slow to accumulate funds, which is typically how TIFs work. But at some point within a couple of years, as we see more development and we have a sinkhole, or as we have a sewer line that's this big and we need it to be this big, hopefully those funds will be available for the city to be able to use. So everything's still on pace. It's just not gaining the spotlight right now. The intention is we have to continue. Just because the downtown grant is over, we're not through downtown by any means.
Outstanding. Legislation. There is House Bill 2374 is going to do some more work to expand the Filmed in Oklahoma Act to expand eligible production time. So that's going to continue to fuel what we're trying to do to attract entertainment to the area. To our board, my fellow board members, I'm very interested in going to the Lunch and Learn over at the production house, not because I want to be a film producer, but because I want to understand the language of film and understand the language of entertainment. As we are faced with new and interesting opportunities, we need to understand that world. So that's part of what I'm thinking of going to that for, just so I can be a better informed board member. So, and then there's a bill out there, House Bill 2407, that creates the Oklahoma Main Street Grant Program. Now, if they pass the bill, that's fine. It's unfunded. Okay, so it's essentially meaningless. But there may be something down the road that may be useful to us as part of some of these pots of funds that we can apply for. So
You're correct. And when Chet and I met with Commerce, they talked to us a little bit about the state Main Street program. There's a national Main Street program, and it's just very cumbersome to navigate through. Yes. And it is very stringent in terms of how you operate a Main Street.
Highly constrained. Yeah.
What the state offers is very different. And so that we will look into see, that will be part of my work plan for the upcoming year, is to utilize, if there's someone out there that wants to help us, whether it's financially through grants or whether it's with expertise, let's go. We need to, the way we get things done is when everybody's trying to figure out what role they play, and the more we can get from either state commerce or on the federal level, especially that streetscape plan. I think that's through the federal level.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'd like to mention, you talked about Jim Crosby and you negotiating the CIA EDC contract. If any board members have anything they want to run by Jim, feel free to reach out to Jim. Just loop me in on it. things maybe you'd like to see in the contract, or things you're not clear on, or things you want to see changed. All input is welcome. I know Kia and I have talked about a couple things, so like I said, feel free to reach out to Jim, just look me in.
And just to be clear,
That Jim.
this Jim,
Jim Crosby, I can't even think of well, if nobody has anything else, we'll move on to item 4, motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Adjourn.